Awesome. Right, that's done. Set that up. Set that up. That's done. That's done. Get my charts up.
What did you fancy for a flight level today then?
I've set it at 230.
Okay, I'll go 250 then.
It's a really funny SID, that.
Yeah, it's because they're trying to get altitude
Ah, right.
in a safe
Yeah.
area before they turn you towards the mainland.
Yeah. I
I
can see why
guess
now. Yeah.
that's what I think.
Evening.
Evening, Ben.
How you doing,
Evening.
mate?
Evening.
You recovered from last night, Ben?
Have I recovered from last night? That was chaos, wasn't it?
Oh, it was mental. We did Berlin to Gatwick because I thought it'd be a good idea because there's a lot of controllers on in that area
yeah.
and all the way across.
And
It looked like there was an event on, so there was like 50 planes all trying to take off from Berlin. So it took us about an hour and 40 minutes for me to literally get clearance to take off because there were so many people in front of me and landing and everything. Yeah, it's good though. It's fun, but bloody hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
And we got lots of direct twos via the keeping to our flight plan and changing altitudes and yeah. And then Gatwick, Ben had a fun time at Gatwick. I'll let you explain that, Ben.
Oh, yeah. Well, so there was this guy flying as an EasyJet, probably about 50, 60 miles behind me. He obviously had it was all on Unicom, so there was no control at Gatwick apart from ground. And this guy obviously had no clue what he was doing, or he wasn't following like arrival chart instructions or anything. So obviously there's me flying at the 220 knots as per the arrival chart, and this guy's flying at me at a rate of probably 70, 80 knots faster than I was flying.
Yeah.
Then as I turn final, he overtakes me on a tighter turn, and then proceeds to say, "Well, I got here first, so no, you'll have to go around."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just carried on, did you?
No, I then just calmly over the Unicom on voice chat said, Airwego 548 having to go around due to the incompetent EasyJet pilot deciding to land on 08 right without following charts.
That's the way to do it.
And then then I had about 3 or 4 other pilots private message me saying it's such a shame that there's so many kids playing this that has no idea what they're doing now and blah blah blah.
It's always it's always been the same, to be honest.
But on IVO and VetSim, when you used to have to do some kind of training before you could fly, if I remember correctly, right? Before you can actually log on to the network.
Yeah, there's like some basic like multi-choice questions, but it's nothing really chart related.
Nothing you can't Google.
Yeah.
No, okay, of course. I know, like, I didn't fly on VetSim before MSFS, but on IVAO, because for VetSim I thought I actually had to do like a Python license thing before I was able to fly.
Yeah, I mean you got the option to do that, but
it's not required,
it's
is
not
it? It's not
mandatory.
yeah.
Okay. No,
Right.
Block fuel 9525. 95.
By the way, Steve, the new bots, they can also do some other party tricks.
Yeah, I saw you was playing music with some.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll have to look into those more and work out all the commands.
Yeah, I'll try and make a list of important ones.
Awesome.
What altitude are you guys gonna be cruising at?
I'm 230, sorry.
230.
Nigel's going to do 250. I'm at gate 29 as well.
I'm on gate 31.
Okay. Sorting out my sim roof.
Refuel, that's that done. Right, stick my constraints on, change that to that. PWS on. Who's
Ta-da!
Holy shit, he's
Oh.
alive.
What now, Mark?
Hello, Andy. How are you? Are you gonna do a flight?
You're so funny.
I know.
I can't even remember how to start the Airbus up now, let alone anything else.
Airbus is just press of a button, right?
I just don't know. I don't remember what button.
Yeah.
How are we, gents? All good?
All good, mate.
How are you?
Very good, thanks, Andy.
Loving it, mate. Loving it large. I wanted to have a quick chat with Martin, actually. I mean, Steve, sorry, I know you know a lot about Discord, but
No, that's
I'm
cool.
thinking more on these channels where we can actually not have members posting them.
Yeah,
I
we
know,
can.
I know we can do that with admin rights and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But, Nigel raised a good point about having, a repository of suggested places to visit. Well, if anyone can add to it, then it does become diluted.
Yeah.
And while I understand what Tony was on about yesterday, I just think he went about it the wrong way. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Definitely.
I had a chat with Steve as well. Like I know what Tony's aiming for, and he is right that of course you don't have the like overview of a forum here. So I was thinking of ways to do that already.
Yeah, well, that's good. If you can get your head around something like that, that'd be great.
I did have a play around today, and I've changed it to VA information now, not just. So it was just information, so I put VA at the front of that, and then I've put in there VA recommended websites and non-VA recommended websites. I've put a section in there, so to overcome that, hopefully. But you can't move posts, unfortunately, which I did email the guys earlier, Nigel especially. Discord has never had the function where you can move one post from one channel to the other. It's been requested.
That seemed very strange.
I know it's been requested many years ago, and even today it's still requested, but they just seem to ignore it, not adding it to the makers. And same with general chat. I've moved that to its own section now, and we've got general chat VA, non-VA. So yeah. But as you say, I understand what you say about, that's a good idea, not letting people post, and we sort of post it in there on their behalf, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that the forum had its purpose with the help and support system, but we've got help and support on here, and again, I know the majority. We've got to move forward with the times, and I think this is moving forward. As much as I hate Discord.
Yeah,
I'm the first to admit it.
Yeah. Martin came out of me and Martin obviously were having a chat last night, and Martin came out with a good idea, which I knew about. I just didn't think it would work in this environment. But now getting my head around it and having that chat with Martin, I think it'd be a really good idea. We can create a ticket system. So if someone has a problem, they can create a ticket, and then one of the admins and mods can have a look at that ticket and then provide an answer to their solution if they've got any problems, things like that. So that's another.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. But yeah, I just wanted to. Don't get me wrong. I understand what Tony's saying. I really do understand what Tony was saying.
Oh yeah,
it's just
so
the
do
way
I.
he went about it.
Yeah, definitely.
We made a decision as the crew, and he's not part of the crew. He resigned from the crew, so he had no. I don't know. Was there anything to discuss? He had 2 posts in the forum in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And they were for Nigel.
Yeah.
I for myself, I like the forums because it has an order, but I perfectly understand. And the last month, like you said, almost 0 posts, so I understand perfect the decision of turning off the forums and changing to only Discord.
I've got to say, I mean, there's an awful lot more people now, a lot more members using Discord than ever use the forum.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprised me the way it's like I say, I don't particularly like it.
Told you so.
But it's just, well, it is what it is. It's a comms which we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
TS is out the window. It's just old hat now. And it's got the flexibility to grow. So I don't know.
No, but we do have to find something where indeed we can store information in a way that's with a good overview, right? Where you can look back at old messages or old pings. I know we can sticky post, right? But that's not ideal unless in my opinion, it's not ideal. But we'll have to find something for that.
Now, what would be ideal would be a forum-like system, as you could search the forum or search the post for relevant. I mean, I did try it last night on here. I stuck a search in for Airbus A320, and I was inundated with stuff.
Yeah.
There was just so much of it, and I understand that, but we had exactly the same with the forum. On the website, we had no search facility on there. I'd never written it in, didn't intend to, although we did discuss it some time back. But I can't spend 60 hours rewriting something. In fact, it'll probably be double that if I'm honest, because it's never as long as I say it's going to take. It's always longer.
Yeah, definitely.
So Andy, if you look at Discord, right, and in the general chat just above here, you see a room called test read only. If you click on that room or on the channel, can you post something there? You shouldn't, because
no, because I haven't got permissions.
No, exactly. So okay, so good.
Yeah, it is good. Sorry, Nigel. Hello, mate.
Hello.
I was in the process of answering your email, Nigel, but I saw you online, so I thought I'd come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to sort of say to Tony last night, I do agree with you, but I do support the guys on Discord. It's been a great. I mean, since Steve Martin buggered off and left there. Since Steve has come on board, it's been great.
Yeah, exactly. It was a pile of crap when Martin left. No, I'm joking.
I still can ban you, Nigel. So no, don't worry about it.
Who gave him admin rights?
Well, I created the server. I was the king of the server. Like I gave it to Richard, but I used to be the king.
I think Richard got his son involved in it, didn't he? I think to do all that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind, Anyway, anywho.
All ready for Christmas, Andy?
For what?
Humbug.
Oh, dear.
My grandkid sent me a hat, actually. It's a black Santa hat. Written across the front.
Fantastic.
It's perfect. I stuck that on there because it came from Santa and the elves. It didn't come from them. One of them's 15. I mean, Christ, it still believes in Santa Claus. 15.
Oh my goodness.
No, he doesn't.
You can't. No,
but he has to for the Littons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So funny. My daughter, she put a picture of her Christmas tree up on Facebook, and I thought, oh, right, okay. Now, we've got 3 trees in the garden. We've got a Nordic fern and a couple of miniature ferns, and I've put lights on them. So I just took a picture of the smallest one, which is about 2 foot tall, with lights on, and sent that to her and said, yeah, I've done mine. The comments I was getting from her and her mother, unbelievable. And then I sent her a picture of the whole thing, the 7-foot tree behind it, it's just, But that is it, though. That is my Christmas decorations, and I've only done that because my mum lives here and she'd be upset if I didn't do something for Christmas. Yeah, where are you off to tonight, fellas?
Iathos, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of Greek.
Yeah, little Greek short hop.
I've got no external power.
I have.
So you don't know that problem when you don't fly.
You're not showing up in an Airwego library either for me, Ben, for some reason.
No, neither is anyone else for me.
Hmm.
But that they'll only do that if it's the VATSIM.
No, I should do it in Lightsim as well. In
This
the normal
this
group.
seems to be using the AIG.
You're in an
the
Air
models.
Asia for me.
Yeah, that's what Roberto is in for me at the end.
Yeah.
And whoever's directly next to me is in the British Airways.
No, I've got sunspots next to me. Whoever's next to me.
I'm in the
Yeah.
sun spot.
I have no power to the aircraft.
Ah,
That's all right.
Fantastic.
Just,
that's bizarre.
fire up the APU, mate. Be all right.
Yeah.
Just turn the batteries on. Yeah, turn the batteries on. You doing
There
the
we go.
fly-by-wire thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, just turn the batteries on and
Yeah,
then
there we go.
hit
Get
the APU,
started.
and then
Yeah.
APU will come online. Hit the and away you go.
Who's not in
Right,
sim yet?
There's something else for you to moan about as well. I updated all the images in Crew Centre above the menu. I've updated all 30 of those today.
Cool.
I've seen that. They look much better. They look nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you stole them from the Discord. Like you
Yes,
said.
I
Oh,
did
very
say I was
good.
going to do that.
Yeah,
and I
very
have
good.
credited everyone with the images.
Wow.
Get around the
Looks good,
copywriting, yeah.
We had some copyright issues.
I was annoyed yesterday by something when I was on the website. Like I just had to nitpick on something. I gotta find it again.
Oh,
Give
please
me-
do, Martin. You
Give,
know I
give me a
enjoy that.
second. Yeah, I know. Because you know I'm right, and then you're gonna fix it. Let me see. I don't know where it is.
Well, it must be really bad then.
No, it's not bad at all. It's just something that's not aligned properly.
Something that's not aligned.
Oh yeah, if you go to what is it? Oh, come on, was it News Hub? Okay, yeah, go to News Hub,
Yes.
and then you have few ops update, few notems, and few featured route.
Ah, yeah, the NOTAMs, yeah.
It's ugly that the 3 green buttons aren't the same size.
Oh no, it's because there's different writing in the buttons.
Yeah, but like you just center it. You make the buttons the same size, and then you center everything. You don't want like, let's say you open up a program, like even though the OK button, OK is only 2 letters, it's still the same size as the cancel button, right? It's aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, now you've mentioned that, it's brought on my OCD now, and I agree with you,
Oi.
Martin.
You see, and it should be an easy fix, 2-3 hours, right?
which
I
means,
don't know.
which
without
means
looking at it.
12 in brackets.
Yeah.
You take the figure I give you and then multiply by 4.
Mhm.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I might look at that one day.
I know. Put it on your list. Do I need to make a Trello board for you where I can just put everything I see on, and then you can, like a proper software developer?
Proper software development. I started a project about 18 months ago, didn't I, Nigel? I just haven't got on with it. I've
Yeah.
got absolutely nowhere with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 2022.
Yeah. So
Mind
by
you
the way,
saying that,
Andy,
Nigel, there's several companies popped up now, isn't there, that are doing like online stuff for VAs.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Bound to happen, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, with Microsoft coming back to the fore, yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, Martin, you was going to say.
No, it's just personal. As in, by the way, I have COVID and I'm in self quarantine. How about that?
Well done.
Yeah, like I don't leave the house at all. And before I got it, and then I suddenly had a bit of a cold and I was like, testing, and so it's COVID. But luckily it's not bad, like I only have a small cold.
Yeah, well, you young whippersnapper, you.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for my booster, actually. I've got to get that sorted out.
And your age, you're still waiting? I thought
Yeah.
ages 80 of above was like from the start already.
Well, I was booked in to go a couple of weeks back, but then we went to rescue a dog, so I didn't
Okay.
get my jab done. So, and they haven't
Okay.
contacted me back, so I've got to contact them.
There.
Right. Well, I'm going to depart from 3-4.
I'm taxiing. Well, pushing back, sorry. How are you getting on, Roberto?
5 minutes to get everything okay.
Cool. Ben,
Yes, mate.
how are you getting on? All right?
Yeah, getting there.
Good.
Just waiting for the passengers to board.
There goes Nigel.
And bang goes Nigel.
Yep.
That's crashed.
Ah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just watched your aircraft
Yeah, I
disappear
did.
midair.
Yeah.
Are you flying on MSFS, Nigel?
Yeah.
Does MSFS still crash the desktop?
It does. Yeah.
Sometimes,
Really?
yeah.
Oh wow.
I think, to be fair, only with this incredible piece of freeware, but it's still buggy as hell, even though it's free.
I would
Yeah.
have hoped or thought that Microsoft would have fixed that. I mean, that CTD should be something of like FSX and 32-bit software programming, not this day and age. Even
Oh, you got to open it. They never fixed it with FSX.
Yeah.
Sorry?
They never fixed it with FSX.
No,
did they?
I know. So that's why I would expect, like, at least fix that if I do a 12-hour flight and then when I'm on final, I don't want to CTD.
That literally happened to me a couple of months ago.
Yeah, like those are that's one of the main reasons I stopped flying.
I did Heathrow to China, and literally as I established on the localizer, the whole thing crashed.
Oh.
I thought you stopped flying, Martin, because she was crap at it.
Well, also maybe you're a bit right, but
So you're on an enforced holiday then, Martin. That's nice, isn't it?
yeah. Well, I was actually 3 weeks off because the company, like I'm a consultant, but the customer company sends all the consultants home for 3 weeks during Christmas, and then I have to do work for my actual employee, but he doesn't have work for me. So I actually have 3 weeks off, but it's not the way I planned for now, at least. So yeah, 3 weeks holiday is good, but could have been better if it wasn't stuck in the room. But the food gets delivered to the door, so that's good.
Yeah, nice. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Evening, Richard.
Hello, everybody. We all
Hi,
okay?
good evening,
Hi,
Richard.
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. You've never got Andy flying, have you, idiot?
That's the second joke I've heard on this.
Did you get that? Did you get that one out of a cracker?
I think it's. Yeah, I've probably got a few crackers lying around. With the same date on Andy last flew, I think. 2019, was it?
It was 2019. Yeah, it was.
Something like that.
Oh dear.
I just thought I'd pop in anyway and say hello, being pre-Christmas, and see how everybody was.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, a little bit of drama yesterday, but seems to have calmed down.
Yeah, we had a little touch on it. But yeah, there's plans afoot between Steve and Martin to try and alleviate some of those issues.
Yeah, I mean, I think myself, I'm not quite sure exactly how Discord works or what exactly you can do with it, but yeah, I think you're very well
Just ask
informed,
your son.
Martin. I should have do, shouldn't I? I should just get him to come and sit with me for 10 minutes and show me a few tricks, but the tidy up Steve's done this afternoon looks to be a good start on where we need to go with it, so
Definitely.
yeah, it's all good. So I think you're in the Greek Isles this evening, aren't you? Is it Corfu to Skiathos?
Yes, that's
the
correct. Yep.
Like that weather's glorious there, isn't it, compared to the sunny
Yeah.
UK at the moment?
No, not a cloud in sight on live weather.
Lovely. That's probably the only blue sky you will see for the next
Yeah.
4 months. You okay, Martin?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, well, yeah. I have COVID and I'm in self-isolation, but I'm fine. Like, except for
Oh,
that,
yeah.
I'm fine. So.
As long as you're well, yeah. It's what's the rules in the Netherlands? Is it sort of 7 days as it is?
Yeah, minimum of 7 days in self-isolation, and then if you're symptom-free for at least 24 hours, then you can leave self-isolation.
Oh, that's good. Oh, when does your isolation end? Is it this side of Christmas or is it?
It's hopefully Friday. That's the minimum of well, that's not even the minimum of 7 days, but that's 5 days. But I need to go and have Christmas, but of course only if the symptoms are away. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And Ben, hi Ben. I'm not
How you
supposed to,
doing, Richard?
Yeah, I think we've pinged a lot of messages back and forth.
Yeah,
haven't we?
I think you was in the voice chat at the very first event I ever flew. However many weeks ago
yeah.
that was.
Oh well, yeah, it's been a while since I've got myself on here on a Wednesday evening, so. I saw there was a crowd gathering, so I thought there might be a free drink in it for me somewhere, but no one's offered yet.
Yeah.
We're just sitting there waiting for you to come in to offer.
Oh yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, should be the VA Christmas party, shouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I wish there was a way to expedite the boarding of passengers though. This is taking forever.
You could go into the fly pad and make it instant.
Can you?
Oh,
Yes,
is
you
this
can.
the fly-by-wire?
Yes.
Yeah. I only discovered that trick last week. 'Cause
I'm sat here waiting for 146 passengers to board, and I'm
Yeah, so
literally
go-
at 100. I've been sat here for about 15 minutes.
Go to settings, realism, boarding time. You can have it fast, real, or instant. Same with fuel. You can do it the same with fuel if you want to as well.
Yeah, I knew about the fuel one. Didn't realise you could do it with the
Yeah,
instant. There we go. Bosh.
done.
Hey.
Find yourself sort of all the pre-flight done, the FMC set, and then you sat there for 10 minutes waiting
Yeah.
for the.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you got enough room there, Roberto, with me being there? Or do you want me to go back a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Going back a little bit.
I'm going to pull. That's okay.
You right now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to pull right here.
Both blocking
Oh.
Nigel now, so he can't escape.
I don't think I've said hello to Nigel yet. Hello, Nigel.
Evening.
Are you okay?
Yes, not too bad, thank you.
Good.
Ah, yes, I can see you blocked me in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll just start up here and taxi over the grass. It can take the weight, can't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are aware, by the way, but the AV bot next to like Metar and Atis, it can also give charts
Oh.
if you ask for it.
Oh.
It'll give you a link to a website
Oh, nice.
with a lot of information, and then the bottom of the website contains all the charts.
Could you do me a favour then? Above the AvBot in the MetaBot channel, could you do an information one that's
It's
locked and then put all the commands in there so people know if
well,
that's...
there's a pinned message.
Oh, brilliant. Right, cool.
Already with all the commands.
Ah, cool. Cheers, Martin.
No worries.
Brilliant, Martin. That.
We're also adding a ticketing system, Richard. So if anyone has got any, rather than just post a lot of messages in the channels, they can create a ticket for a problem they're having, and then one of the admins can see that and then respond to it.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's super.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Steve. Yeah. That's like something you get with I don't know, Aerosoft or Just Flight or something, isn't it? You get
Yeah.
sort of
I knew it was there. I just didn't want to add it yet because I didn't think we didn't have the people to use it, to be honest with you. But now, now we have turned off the forums. I think it'll be a very, very useful tool. So.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of registered users on Discord, aren't there?
Yeah.
Probably get 20, 25 different users over a week or so, I would imagine.
Definitely.
I was just going somewhere then to get something to do something with them. Here we go, file. There it is. Well, I'm gonna have a look at this. Was it Nora a few days ago? Posted about this Riku 787 package.
That's right. For FSX and P3D, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He says it's better than the one we've got at the moment. He says so.
Yeah. It uses the same 2D panel by Graham Monroe, which is really quite feature rich for freeware. But if you've got a VC with that, then you quids in with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Knowing Riku is going to take 3 days to download unless you want to subscribe to them, so set it going. The sound of concentration there.
I'm ready to taxi when everyone else is.
Yeah, I'll push back after you guys are past.
Give me 2 minutes and I'm ready to taxi.
No problem. Yeah, I loved last night with Ben when he had that go around. His aircraft in X-Plane tried to make its own action, didn't it? Tried to decide.
Yeah, because the TCAS works perfectly, so it screened traffic at me and then took me around on the go around automatically.
That's crazy. I know Fly by Wire are going to be looking into their TCAS. I hope they do something like that, which it should be.
I still can't believe that guy.
I know, ridiculous.
Is this the tallest product, Ben?
That is, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing, that.
I'm pretty sure it's the apart from obviously the Phoenix that's currently in development for MSFS, I'm pretty sure it's the nearest study level, or nearest to a study level Airbus A3 product on the market.
Even Aerosoft's, would you say then? Have you tried the Aerosoft one?
No.
No, I haven't for a few years.
It sounds better than the Aerosoft. It's quite systems limited in a way. The Aerosoft product, I think, it's not designed to be, that to that level of detail.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the Tollis, I mean, it holds. They're automatically all programmed in the do straight away, so you literally hit a button and it's job done. VNav works perfectly up and down. Yeah, it's a going from flying that to then coming onto here and flying the fly-by-wire. It makes you realise how far behind this is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but obviously there's a lot of work to go and they're working on it. But
Me and Nigel are having a race. He's winning.
okay, now right, cool.
Don't forget to push your chrono button.
Yeah. As I have done for the last 10 flights. Forgot, that is. Yeah, you can just cut in front of me, Nigel. I don't mind.
No, I'm.
Go on, mate.
Oh, I see. Yeah, over my right shoulder. I thought that was you in front. That must be Roberto.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
there's
Roberto.
no room down the end of that runway. There's
No,
only
so we're
room
going to have to
just
wait for him to take off and then
turn
taxi.
round. Yeah. How much is left from the intersection? Not enough. Oh, I don't know. We're not very full. I might try going from the intersection.
Good luck.
Yeah, full power. I haven't got much fuel.
Is this out of Corfu, Nigel? Corfu's the origin.
Yeah, it's the main Corfu airport. There's another. They've got another one as well, but I think it's the old international one. This is the newer one. I've sailed into Corfu on a lovely 2-week sailing holiday. I'm disappointed I haven't heard Roberto's dog.
Yeah.
Happily kick mine if you like, Nigel.
Wondering what all that chitter chatter was, and then realised I've got FS Realistic running in the background.
The sounds of FS Realistic are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
They are, yeah.
Not heard of FS Realistic. Is it like passenger sounds and?
Yeah, passenger sounds. It has a bit of head shake on takeoff and landing in turbulence. Improves the sound of the engines, the sound of wind shear, the sound of wind hitting the aircraft, etc.
Nobody in the runway?
Negative.
Right.
You're clear to take off, mate.
Clear to take off. Mantoga SRS. $80 knots. V1, rotate. Okay, runway vacated.
Entering and lining up. What's the worst that can happen?
Well.
I think a Chinaman said that at the beginning of last year when he was eating bat soup.
That does look very short from here.
Does, yeah.
What's wrong with you? Airspeed alive. Straighten it up. Come on, Nigel, straighten it up. And rotate.
Oh
Plenty
my
of
god!
runway. Plenty of runway. Well, not
Nah.
I'm going down to the end.
So am I.
Nigel, a question. What does A.floor means
Alpha
on
floor.
the...
Alpha floor means that you're going probably too slow, and so it doesn't know what to do, so it's gone into its max power to try and keep you airborne.
Stop
But
you
you
from
need to sort
stalling.
it out.
Yeah. You most probably got your flaps still down. I get that a lot if I forget to put my flaps up.
If you, Roberto, if you take your throttles back to idle, disengage the auto throttle, re-engage it, and then move back to CL to climb, that should fix it for you. And push the nose down, I think, at the same time, just to, so you don't lose too much airspeed. Nigel, have you taken off from sort of taxiway Alpha 1? Have you?
Yeah, from the intersection, yeah. I've only got light fuel weight, flaps. I would go flaps 2, just to reduce your VR a bit more. Max toga power. Hold it on the brakes till you've got max power, and then let it go, and you'll just hit the undershoot when you rotate. Perfectly safe.
You've got 1,500 meters of runway there, haven't you? It's not
Well, I was actually in, there's a runway extension there with the arrows on, which you can use for takeoff if you're using the other end. If you see what I mean. Yeah, that's the runway extension to give you extra takeoff runway. I was actually in that when I rotated, but it was fine. Passengers didn't know.
Just turning, lining up.
Have you sorted your alpha floor problem, Roberto?
I guess that's a no, Richard.
Yeah, I think he's concentrated on
Yeah.
the question.
He's ahead of me and still climbing, so I think he must be all right.
That's a positive sign. He's still climbing.
Toga. V1, rotate.
Clear the runway.
Clear runway.
It's gonna be interesting. I've got a flex temp and everything set rather than toga, so I wonder if it'll make it.
What, from the intersection?
No, from the very
from
end.
the end. Yeah. It'll make it from the end. It's not that hot, so you'll be all right. You definitely wouldn't make a flex takeoff from the intersection.
No, especially based on watching you do it.
Yeah, that was entertaining. I've never been so glad to see the VR arrow appear.
See your eyes flicking from the window.
That's it, yeah.
You do wonder about some of the calculations the FMC makes for your V-speed sometimes. You can see the end of the runway approaching and you're thinking, are you sure?
Yeah.
Bristol's a bit like that.
I've got a Excel spreadsheet that calculates it all for you, and the values are normally higher than what the default McDo gives you.
Yeah. That sounds good too.
Yeah. I posted it in the Discord a few weeks ago. Where it's gone, I
Right,
couldn't
yeah.
tell you, but
Probably added it on to.
Yeah, this is exactly what I mean. We need a
Oh,
a nice repository in Discord where you can go
find
and
all that
say,
sort of thing.
yeah, that was a
definitely.
very use, because then when people join, they can go to that place and even just casually scroll through, going, oh yeah, that's very interesting.
I think the
But
only way around it, sorry to jump in on you there, Nigel, is if people post interesting stuff, admins can have another channel where they can then copy that link of what they've
Yeah.
posted and put it
Yeah.
in somewhere where no one else can type in.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's the only way. Yeah, the only way around it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Really.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
Tony did have a point. You don't want to go wading through
No, definitely.
tons of non-relevant chat to find a gem.
Definitely.
That's correct.
yeah, I think the same, but normally the important questions or that kind are on the support chats, and there is almost no chat, not relation in that in that section. So I don't know.
I think it's just admins. You know, I didn't want to do it really, but like if people start talking in a help channel about just general stuff, it's sort of telling them, look, this is not the channel for this. Go to general chat, non-VA or VA. That's where to discuss this, and then sort of unfortunately delete their post till I think, you know what I mean. I think
that's what you eventually need to do.
Yeah.
Or get moderators, and so yeah, that's indeed what you need to do, because else it's gonna be a mess. Because people, and it's of course always happens, because there's always a can of worms to be opened, right, when you're talking about something. So, but indeed, then you have to be strict, like, guys, for regular chat, please
Yeah.
go to this. So the help channel is only for help questions. The VA screenshots, I would even go as far as saying the screenshots page or should only be able to post screenshots and people reacting on those.
Yeah.
Not actual sentences or
just
links or whatever.
emojis, just emoji
exactly.
reactions. Yeah.
I don't know if if it's possible to do that, but
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, there's still some optimization that we can do in the Discord. But
definitely.
we'll have to sit down for it.
Sensible.
Oh, by the way, maybe someone else has a good idea. Like, we now have a robot or a bot that's when somebody joins the server, we send over a personal message to them, like in their direct messages. I've now called it Robot Steve, but maybe someone has a better name, or if everyone's okay with Robot Steve, I'll leave it as Robot Steve.
Robot AWG.
Welcome or bot. Let's see down.
I think AWG would just be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I can do that. That's. Let's go on servers. It's now called Airwego.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You airborne, Ben?
I am, mate. Yep.
Awesome. What runway is it saying for landing? Let's have a look. LGSK. All runways good for landing or takeoff. That helps.
I've set up for 01.
Yeah.
Yeah, 01. It's like San Martin runway.
Yeah.
Very short.
5,300 feet. It says. Don't look it, but
1,600 meters or something.
Yeah, 1,628.
It's definitely a toga takeoff then on the brakes.
Yeah.
Screw them up. Last day of work for me tomorrow until the new year.
You and me
nice.
both. Can't wait.
Yeah, me too. Just
What star are you using? Because you've got 2 stars, haven't we? We can
The-
use
Airwego 1 Charlie.
1 Charlie. You doing approach via SKP or no vias?
Via SKP, yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's all in. Check for any discontinuities. I can say that word now.
Yeah.
Trouble saying it.
It's a tough word to say.
Yeah.
Which star are you doing? SIG 1 Charlie?
Airwego 1 Charlie.
Ah, and the approach with the NDB DME01
Yeah.
SKP transition.
That's the one.
Okay.
I'm gonna log off now because I'm waiting for this download to complete, but it's gonna be a good 45 minutes, so no point in sitting watching the progress bar. So enjoy your Christmases and New Year, everybody.
Thanks, Richard.
And you, mate.
Same
You
to
too.
you and your
You too, mate.
family.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.
Richard.
Yeah, see you all soon.
See you soon.
See you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Happy, safe landings, everybody.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye, mate.
Okay, round of applause. Thank you very much.
You fixed the buttons?
Yes.
I knew it. I'm gonna
Oh yeah, that's better. Nice, good job.
Please see, and Andy, was I right or was I right? Just out of pity.
You have a
it-
point
it-
sometimes.
yeah, I know.
Well, I'm pleased I've done it because I'm bugging me for ages.
go through the website again and see if I can have more stuff tonight.
Yeah, jingle bells, fill your socks, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm dropping off too. Time for dinner.
All right, Andy. See you later, mate. Have
See
a
you
good
later, Andy.
Christmas if
See
I
you
don't
later,
speak to you,
Andy.
you and your family.
Yeah,
And
Merry
you
Christmas.
guys have a good one. Jingle bells and
Yeah.
all that. Humbug.
Humbug, 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 humbug.
See you, Andy. Cheers.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Nigel. I've even considered, actually, I'm going to take a picture of my hat and I'm going to put it on here as my image.
Yes. Excellent.
Speak to you all later, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers,
See you
Andy.
later.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Well, that's the thing I did actually. I created 2 emojis, Airwego emojis. They look very small. You can't really
Yeah,
recognise them.
I saw it. I saw
yeah.
it when looking in the settings. That was really cool. Yeah.
I did just the logo and the star, the compass. Sorry.
Yeah, no, very good. I mean, I had no clue how to do that, so I was surprised that they were in there.
I only did it a few days ago, but I thought they looked small, so I didn't really swing and shout about it. But "44 miles to top of descent. I'll get down to 4,000. Right, calculator. 4,000. 60 miles. Computer's telling me. Into destination data. QNH 1027.
I need to drop as well, guys. Sorry.
No worries, Martin.
Have a nice
See
flight.
you later, mate.
Catch you
Dot
later.
scenes,
Merry
dot
Christmas.
scenes, Martin. Dot
Cheers.
scenes.
That seems Nigel. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Cheers.
See you later.
Temperature 5. Goes in there.
And starting my descent.
Approach runway 1. Right, what's the... Right, I'm looking at the approach chart to get the decision height, and all I can see is MD8.
Minimum decision altitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which chart are you using?
There is
I'm
no
using
ILS, so it's
I'm using
only
approach.
one decision.
On Navigraph, I'm using approach runway 01. It's 16-1.
So what you've got there is you're using a locator, which is a low-powered NDB.
Ah,
Yep.
right,
So it's non-precision.
right.
So you won't have a very low decision height.
Okay.
And the reason why Skiathos doesn't have decision heights, it has decision altitudes,
Mhm.
is because it's at sea level anyway, so there ain't no difference.
Ah,
So a decision height is the same as decision altitude.
right, got you. Cheers, mate.
Whereas cockle, there's about 9 feet difference in it. So you've got an MDA minimum descent altitude of 1,600
Yep.
and a minimum descent height of 1,591 feet.
Mhm.
So I'd go for Barrow of 1,600.
Cool. Thank you.
And if you haven't seen the runway at 1,600, then good luck, because you're probably never going to see it. Doesn't matter how many go-arounds you do, it ain't going to get any clearer.
So it's this sort of information I love, you know, and it stays in as well. It's, you know what I mean? It's great. It's all about learning. Yeah, because you haven't even got an option to put in a radio. You've
No,
only got
it's
the
non-
Barrow option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not worth it because
Mm.
there's no difference really.
Yeah.
So, and it's a non-precision anyway. So that there's no RNAV, so it might not even give you vertical guidance.
Mhm.
So you'll have to do what's called a dive and drive, which
Ah.
is you descend to the minimum descent altitude and
Yep.
then you level off hunting for the runway until you reached your missed approach, and then you
Yeah.
go around. Yeah.
Got
So
ya.
it's called a dive and drive, which I hate doing.
Ah.
And I prefer to work my descent out so that I hit the missed approach at 1,600.
Mhm. Cool.
Bit turbulent over these mountains.
Yeah.
Certainly is.
What do you do, guys, for New Year?
It's my birthday, so I get drunk.
Even it isn't.
Yeah.
My birthday's Boxing Day, which is the
Is it?
26th of December,
Yeah.
for people that don't know what Boxing Day is.
Yeah, it's my 29th this year.
My 49th.
God,
Only a short 30 years ahead of me.
you youthful, juvenistic childs. You. transition altitude is 4,000.
Yep.
Well, looking at my ND, the picture is truly bizarre for this approach.
Yeah.
So I think I might have to jump in and do it manually. I'm ready to take over.
Yeah, it looks a bit mucked up. So was my departure, to be honest.
Yeah, the same thing, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it flew it okay. It just looked a right old mess.
Mm.
See, it took me much further west than the charts,
Ah.
Okay.
so I had to, I did a direct to sort it out.
Yeah.
If anyone fancies it after this flight, do you fancy doing some carrier ops with them two things from
Yep.
Flight Sim TO? Yeah, cool.
I'll have to download it.
Yeah, no probs. Fancy a bit of that, Nigel?
I won't have time, but
No problem.
I've done quite a bit. The military VA I fly with.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a US
we had to do
Enterprise carrier, and it's got all the takeoffs, the people on the deck that tell you when to
Yeah.
take off. The catapult works.
Wow.
The
Fantastic.
tail hook works with the landing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had to do a full because it's a VAT sim special operations VA.
Oh, cool.
You have to do all the training you can.
Right.
You can't go on VAT sim without it if you're in a military special operations VA. So yeah, I did lots of starting in the T-45 Hawk. They call it the Goshawk, but it's really our Hawk made for a carrier.
Yeah.
Starting with all of that and then working your way up to the F-18.
Nice.
And then sidestepped into the F-35 for the HMS Queen Elizabeth carrier ops, which are dead easy, really.
Yeah.
Because you just hover and land it.
Yeah.
But the F-18 is getting it on the carrier was just such fun.
Definitely.
I started flying with a game, James Navy Fighters.
Oh yeah.
And it was cool. The landing on the carriers was the most difficult part of the missions, but it was very cool. And the carriers were moving, not like this one in Flight Simulator. It's static. They were moving, so it was
the ones
really cool. Yeah.
That's right. The ones in TAC Pack move as well. So they're moving, and it's just such a laugh. Yeah, it really is. Once you're in the groove, once you've done it, you've got the circuit pattern, and you know what your throttle settings are. It's pretty much the same every time.
Yeah.
But it's just getting there. That's all. It's getting there. Steve, I put Sky Demon VFR plan and a plog.
I've seen it.
Your private message. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have a chat around that whenever you want.
Yeah. No problems.
It's the route I do for when I want to do my instrument flying practice.
Oh yeah.
So I have a safety pilot. My mate comes as a safety pilot.
Yeah.
So we're VFR, but we do it following the GPS and the VOR. But you can also do it visually.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll look at that. Yeah. Cheers for that.
And there's no wind on the plog, so I've generated it with no wind. Which means you can use them every single time. You just have to adjust for the wind yourself.
Got ya.
Which is what you do in real life anyway, because it's never what they say it's going to be.
Yeah. Nice. You see the F-35s at all, Nigel, go into Lakenheath? For real, for real.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures. A friend of mine posted some pictures, yeah.
I watched it live on YouTube.
They've had them at Marham for a long time.
Lights on.
I'm at 4,000 feet.
I've just started my descent.
Roberto seems to be a lot higher.
Yep, but I'm going to
dive.
No, to make a big turn.
Okay.
I'm in the correct altitude of my path, set it on
okay.
little nav map.
Okay.
So I think it will be okay. Because I'm doing the SKP transition.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm going to SKP, and the initial fix, the initial approach fix is 4,000 feet at SKP.
Yeah.
And then you turn left, head into Tom 990P, didn't you? An FQ01. No, FQ01, sorry.
Yeah.
That was another plane, that was.
Yeah, actually, you can come outbound on SKP on a radial. You can come outbound on the 203 radial for 10 miles and then turn in.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do it the old-fashioned way.
Got someone on that sim that's landing shortly there.
Yeah. It's the second one. One have landed a couple of minutes ago.
All right, cool.
How long is the runway? 4,000. No, it's
not. It's the word you're looking for.
5,280 feet. So auto brake low. Passing to standard 3030 the QNH. And final. You're down. Are the real puppy lights brighter than the ones in MSFS?
No, generally not. Although when it's crap, when it's bad weather and misty and murky, they do cut through. But you tend to rely upon the leading lights, the lead-in strobes. That's what you'll see first. So the Pappies aren't quite. You can get some called high-intensity approach lights, and they cut through quite nicely. And the bottom of the Navigraph plate tells you what sort of lighting the airfield has, approach lighting it has, and how many lights, so you can count them.
Oh,
2,500.
not so bad.
Pretty cool. I'm flying over the top of the airfield and I can see Roberto taxiing off of the runway.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I'm on final. Yeah. You normally see the Pappies a bit better than this, though. These are a bit low powered, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They are almost unfunctional.
Yeah, well, they're not too bad. They're not too bad.
Maybe because I was used to the FSX puppy lights that you
Yeah,
see like
you could see them like 10 miles away.
yeah. You were departure and you almost see the lights.
I'm going around.
Too high.
No, I turned in too sharp. I did a direct to because it was taking me well away from FQ01, but then it turned in too soon.
We're currently flying downwind.
1,000. 1,000.
And I'm clear of the active.
Turning final.
You go too far for the picture, Nigel.
I couldn't find you, so I was looking.
I'm.
Ah, you're in the woods. I haven't got
Ah,
updated scenery, so you're in the
yeah,
woods.
yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
I download a free
Ah,
one
yeah,
that is.
yeah. No,
There
you're
is a
stuck.
free one.
Yeah,
It's very good on Flight Sim .2.
yeah. I can see you now. You're in the woods. That's why I couldn't find you.
Okay. So I will go where you are. You have to point to the little island and then turn to the runway.
Hmm.
That's the best way to approach, I think.
And I am down.
Cool.
And runway vacated. Where are you guys parked?
I've got the default scenery for MSFS, so I'm parked quite a way away from you. You look as though you're taxiing in the woods to me.
Right.
Yeah, you've just come out of the woods. You should be able to see me now. If you pass undisclosed
Yeah.
and then just keep going down.
See, I've got
I'm-
terminal buildings and a car park there.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm probably am in a car park. There's only a couple of spots, so I didn't want to nick them.
Right, I'm just gonna park up here then.
Yeah.
2,500.
Yeah, it's quite the landing and approach, that, isn't it?
It's good, isn't it? It's a nice
Yeah.
This was suggested by James, this was. Unfortunately, he couldn't
1,000.
make it tonight
Oh,
due to
that's a
work.
shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, he's lost in action from a month ago, I think.
He's got a new job driving buses, and
Ah.
he has been messaging me quite frequently privately. Yeah, he's on the buses at the moment, so he's got a rotor that he's just getting any old. He hasn't got a fixed rotor yet, so he's just going into work and he's just getting told to do this job, this job, this job. And he doesn't know where he is at the moment. So
500.
oh, I'm well off the runway here. Jesus.
$400. $300.
No, this is not good.
$200.
Looks all right.
Does for me, yeah.
A little bit to
A little bit to the left, yeah.
Left, yeah.
Trying
100.
to straighten it up now. No.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Perfect.
Retard. Retard.
That was alright. Not great, but I got it down safely.
They're nice, to be fair, mate.
Yeah, you've used all the runway. You got your money's worth out of that landing.
Oh my goodness, I'd take a screenshot of where I stopped. That was everything. Maximum brakes, brake fans on, auto throttle, Let me just load this
You're
screenshot.
almost on the fence.
I'll show you exactly where I stopped. Did you get a recording of that, Roberto?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Not the last part. Not the last part. But I had in a photo. I'm going to put it.
Where are we? Events. There we are. Right. This is where I.
Yeah, just
God, yeah,
touching with the nose in the.
That's it. Look.
In the fence.
That's my view.
Oh my word, yeah.
Oh. I'll take another
You
one
don't
from
have
the
a fence,
outside.
but in my scenery you have a fence just in front of you.
Yeah, I did download the scenery that Ben suggested, unfortunately. Oh my goodness, right, let's get to taxi now. Let's get all that set up, that off, landing lights off, taxi on. Spoilers down, here we go.
You should actually leave your landing lights and strobe on whilst you're on the runway.
Oh, still on the runway, is it? Ah, okay.
Yeah, once you turn off the runway, then you can put your transponder to standby and your taxi lights on, and in some places your strobes off. Some places say you keep your strobes on until you park.
Right.
But generally I turn them off when I've left the runway. Only because they make a weird, I mean Ben's probably heard it, they make a weird whooping noise in your headset if you're in a GA aeroplane.
They do indeed.
They go whoop, 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 and you can hear it all the bloody time.
And it drives you mad.
It does. The first time I heard it, Ben, I imagined like you, the first time I heard it, it was in an aeroplane I picked up years ago. First one I ever flew that had strobes. And I flicked them on, and then when I got to just past the hold, I heard this whoop, and I thought, Christ, there's a warning. What's this warning?
That's pretty much exactly what I relayed to my instructor at the time.
I stood on the brakes and just sat between the hold and the runway, checking everything, and the timer was like, everything all right? And I was saying, I think I've got a warning horn, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I ignored it because everything else was fine. And then once you take off, you can't hear it because the engine noise. And then it never stopped until I turned them off when I left the runway, and I went,
All makes sense now.
Yeah, horrible noise.
No room for me.
Yeah, just come down where I am, mate.
I mean, I was going to say, right next to me, this Swiss A320 is hovering in midair, mate, so you could literally go underneath him.
Oh, yeah. These are sunspots for me, yeah.
Yeah, posted a video of your landing.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, I'm outside in the car park.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
This scenery is nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I've got the Orbex Skiathos.
And even has some people on the fence and at the start of the runway, just like St. Martin.
Oh right, underneath that. Yeah.
I'm not sure why this one's hovering in midair though, but hey.
Oh, your video my landing looks better than it did sat in the cockpit. Honestly, I was way left, and I literally,
Yeah, it looks super nice in person.
Yeah, lovely there. I think I'll edit my video and add your.
Yeah.
I have recorded mine. I've recorded the whole flight, so
You're bang on the middle of the runway in that video.
yeah. You wait till
All
you
good.
see mine when I edit. It's different when you sat in the cockpit. A lot different. Oh dear.
Try to take off with 95%.